Hey, what's up? This is Corey Dion Lewis, clinical health coach and host of the Healthy Project podcast. Now, the research shows that social determinants can have a greater impact on your health more than healthcare or lifestyle choices. The purpose of this podcast is to discuss how to improve health and reduce health inequity by speaking to healthcare professionals, thought leaders, and entrepreneurs. Now, if you're enjoying the podcast, give it a review. Or you can also make a donation to the Healthy Project using the link in the description. It takes 30 seconds and it's super easy. Hey, thank you so much for listening. Now let's get started. Hello everybody. Thank you for watching the Healthy Project podcast. I'm your host, Corey Dion Lewis, and this is the My City, My Health edition of the podcast. And let me tell a little story about this guest.
Oh, really gracious.
Last year, our first conference, My City, Des Moines. Yeah. We had it was the prevention panel, and we had a Q&A with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
This guest, Mrs. Ward, was an attendee, but you wouldn't have known it.
That is fair.
She grabbed that mic and she had not only bars, but you had everybody's attention. And Larry and I said to ourselves, "Oh, Mom will be on this joint next year." Well, to be on this joint. Ms. Keesha, thank you for being with me today. I appreciate you.
I'm so excited to be here.
I make fun of you for that, but I'm serious. Once you did that, it's all fun. But once you did that, I was like, "Oh, she gotta be back. She gotta be back," but on the panel this time.
And I was coming back either way.
Oh, that's love.
Look, I was coming back either way because I went back and was telling everybody, look, y'all, this is one of the best conferences I've ever been to. Just the format of it.
Yeah.
On point. The fact that we were all getting the same information. Y'all know how it is with conferences. Like, you have your breakout sessions. You got to go in this room. You got to leave and go over there. But it was the way that it was laid out where we all received the same information. We all had the opportunity to even hear from the crowd, right? If they had questions, they had comments, to me, being able to take in all of that same information at the same time I haven't seen it at a conference before. So what I say I was looking forward to, I went to work, I was like, all y'all need to go. All of y'all need to go. I told my CEO, we got to send some folks.
Yeah.
Especially since we work with young children, mental health challenges.
Yeah. It'll be extra important for y'all to be there, for them to be there this year, because our community panel, I'm sure they're going to be talking a lot about that. We got Lewis Houghton. We got Ken Morris. We got Billy Weathers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if anybody should be there, it should be somebody that's working with the youth.
Yes.
So at least that panel.
Yes.
And man, you're like everybody that said it was awesome being able to see but for a health equity conference, I feel like you have to you gotta get all the information.
You do. I agree. I agree. But you did it. The fact that you did it right the first time, though, because especially when you get it right the first time with something like that, there's this anticipation now. Because what I've been hearing is everybody else across the U.S. want they all. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Stop a minute.
Yeah.
As long as y'all don't pull them away from us, we're good.
There's too many great Black professionals in Des Moines for this not to happen every year.
I agree. Because all right, this is probably me stepping too far. No, I'm not stepping too far ahead. Hold on. Because where do we go as it grows? What space do we go in? Look, I'm about to be over here. I'm sorry, y'all. Maypray, we love you.
Well, that was the whole conversation, because Larry, who I do it with, was like, "Are you sure you want to do that mainframe this year? Because we're expecting double, but who knows what we're going to, who knows what's going to happen?
Y'all gonna get that double.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's like to outgrow a space though. That
Right.
early on, how many people can say that? How many people can say that?
Hey, you
No.
said talk about it. Hey, I ain't.
No, that how you ever.
But hey, we ain't here talking about.
I know. We have to say that first.
Yes, we do. But what I appreciate about you is in this conference and having the space. I will say that, but also, yes, you were at the prevention. You were there and you spoke at the prevention panel, but you do have a prevention story.
Yes.
So that's why it's not for us here in Des Moines. It's not unusual for you to be on the panel,
Right.
because you have an experience in the background and you have had either have a business or had a business in the space. So tell people a little bit about yourself.
Yeah.
And what's going on with Keesha.
Okay. So when it comes to prevention, okay, oh gosh. So I still consider myself an athlete. Okay. I know how it is. Sometimes say, oh, I used to be an athlete. No, I'm still an athlete. Okay. I still lift weights. I'm still an athlete. So I played basketball and the knees. Oh, women and their knees, especially in sports. And so I have torn both ACLs.
Oh, okay.
I've torn both ACLs, and I've had a total of 6 surgeries on both my knees, all before I was 30 years old. So I'm turning 36 here in a couple months. All before I was 30, I had already had 6 surgeries on my knees. And I lived in my ortho's office. When I say I lived in Greenwald's office, thank you, Greenwald, for always taking care of me in Ames. I lived in his office. I lived in physical therapy, ISU, PT. I mean, there was not a time where I can't think of when I wasn't in either one of those places. And so I remember my ortho telling me, Keesha, you're on your way to knee replacements, cortisone shots, and arthritis.
Before 30?
Before 30. So to hear that come out of his mouth and he say, like, you know, we can't keep the inflammation out of your body. That's what he kept saying. We can't keep the inflammation out of your body. I was like, what the heck does that mean? You know, like, I don't know what that means. What's going on?
Right.
To me, I'm saying I'm doing everything that you're telling me to do.
Right.
And it's still not working. I've changed my shoes. I'm in physical therapy, but I still can't do any lower body workouts. Walking hurts. Going from sitting to standing hurt. So imagine that for 10 years straight. So my husband will tell you I was in pain for 10 years straight. And when my ortho told me that, I walked into the waiting area. I walked out of the doctor's office and into the waiting area, and I saw all the people there waiting for their cortisone shot for their knees, specifically for their knees. And I went, oh my gosh, is this going to be my life? And then you think about knee replacements. They tell you you can only have 2 in a lifetime because they only last 10 years. And each time they go in, they got to shave some stuff down a little bit. So I went, well, what the heck? Where does that leave me?
Right.
So, did a lot of praying, please God, show me what I need to be doing. Not just me asking, can you heal me? But is there something that I'm supposed to be doing? And I remember one day I was on Facebook just scrolling, and a video came across of professional athletes that went plant-based and how it changed their recovery. I mean, all of it. Like and I just kind of went, okay, they're athletes and doing it. I'm an athlete. Yes, I'm an athlete. Let me look into this because I feel like I've tried everything else. I'm just going to look into it. I did about 3 months of research. Some of that research included walking up and down the grocery store aisles, reading labels.
Wow.
How often do we read labels? Like, do we realize that there are some cereals, like breakfast cereal, that has gelatin in it, and gelatin is pork? Like, do we even realize some cereal has pork in it?
But why would the average person, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're going through some...
Unless you're being how I've always said it, unless you're being forced to do something, a lot of times you don't even pay attention to it. Like you just eat. We just eat what we love and what tastes good. So I did that for about 3 months, and because there are two sides. There's either you transition, right? There are some steps to get to being fully plant-based.
Okay.
And then the other side is just going 100% in.
Right.
On day one, right? So I wanted to go 100% in.
I can see that.
I am very disciplined. I'm a very disciplined person. And a lot of it does come from sports, but I went, after all that research, I went plant-based January 1st, 2017.
Okay.
And 2 weeks in, no more pain.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. I had no more aches in my knees. I felt good. My skin was like clearing up, but I thought I had clear skin until I looked back at pictures before then, and I was like, okay, all right, I guess. So like my skin cleared up, my energy increased. Also, our tummies, like how often do we say, oh man, I got the itis, my stomach, man, my stomach feels, we've been so used to saying and doing that when we were kids.
Yeah.
I just had my nephews for a week, and they're like, oh, my stomach hurts. Right? Like we become so accustomed to saying it, we don't even think about like, why is my stomach hurting?
Yeah.
So I had no more tummy aches. I mean, when my why was always my knees. Today, it still is my knees.
Right.
Because you do have to have a why. If you don't have a why, you're going to go back.
Yep. Facts.
And that has happened with friends, associates, like all of it. If you don't have your why, it's going to be so tempting. People going to put ribs in your face. You go to the barbecues, the family and friend barbecues, and they like, you sure you don't want this? You sure you don't want this cheese and this mac? Right. But when you're serious and you have your why, you're not gonna go back, because I've always said my goal is to never be in anyone's face going, you need to go plant-based, you need to do this.
Right.
I'm always like, just listen to your body. I say I listen to mine, and I will always be plant-based because I know what it felt like when I wasn't
plant-based.
And so yes, 2 weeks in, when I say my life changed, there was this shocker. I remember going, why did my doctor tell me this? I literally remember saying that. Why didn't my doctor tell me that maybe I just needed to change some things about my eating? Because he mentioned inflammation, and I had learned that the foods I was eating causes the most inflammation. And now I didn't have it in my body anymore. So I was confused. So I never planned for Vegan Knees to become a business. I didn't plan for Work Rage Studios either, but I did not plan for Vegan Knees to become a business. It still is. I went on a hiatus for a little bit before coming back to it this year, but it was more just about sharing my journey. Here's something. Okay, look, Black folks, we love our soul food. It's cultural.
Yes. Yeah. And that makes it hard to let it go, because it's been your culture. But I had a doctor tell me one time on my podcast many moons ago, and he was like, it's not really culture, it was survival. Because of the foods that we were given back when our ancestors were slaves were either rotten, dirty, you had to rinse off your meat, you had to put extra salt on, you had to do things. It was out of survival. So it necessarily wasn't culture, right?
Yeah.
So I took that, I'm like, wow, that's real. That's real, right? It's not culture, it was survival.
Real.
So like That's real. And even, and I will say, I still eat meat. It's not the same as I used to. I mean, it's definitely still a part of my life. But how I prepare, and even having days where we don't have meat. And how people do meatless Mondays.
Yes,
we don't necessarily do meatless Mondays, but we have a meatless day.
Right. Yes.
Things like that. It is just incorporating that into our life and creating a new culture.
Right. Ooh. But that's good, because and when you think about it, who gonna give up that good food? I mean, I'm gonna always keep it real, no matter what space I'm in. Like, and that's why I always like to say too that I'm never in anybody's face. You need to do this. You got to do that. I was like, look, we eat what we love to eat.
Right.
I mean, that's a fact. And because when you think about that, it's like, I don't want to give that up. I feel like, because what I explain to some people is, I don't want you to see it so much as like giving something up, but enhancing your life.
Right.
Because so because today plant-based foods today look a lot different even from 3 years ago.
Oh.
I mean, it looks so, you can walk in, I feel like, so many more restaurants today. The grocery stores today, from Walmart to Whole Foods, Target, Aldi has their own brand of vegan cheese. Like,
right.
Literally today, when I talk to folks who have been plant-based or vegan for 10 plus years, 20 years, I mean, they don't even know what to do with themselves today, because can't believe there's so many options.
Are all vegan options made the same, though? So one thing that, so I think that's, especially thinking about the conference, right? And the conversation I hope we have with on the prevention panel.
Yes.
There are a lot of people that we want to connect with and reach out to that maybe come from a means where they may not think they can go vegan.
Right.
Or the vegan options they go to, maybe, oh, this is really, really cheap, but is it the best? Is it still?
Yeah.
Like, how do you navigate that? How would you connect with somebody?
So the thing with that's which I'm really looking forward to bringing back over this next couple of weeks, is my Try It Wednesdays. So my Try It Wednesdays through Vegan Needs, my company, is all about quick, easy, delicious food. The foods that I make they're not expensive. I try, because what I say is, if you're unable to get creative in the kitchen, you also won't last.
Ooh.
You won't last. So I'll just give you some examples of folks that have tried it. I have quite a few friends that have tried to go plant-based, but they got bored.
Yep.
And so, it was kind of like, do I want to eat this tofu again? Do I want to, gosh, I've just been having broccoli and just steamed broccoli and green beans, and I'm tired of this. And all my friends, because that's the perception too, is being plant-based means that you don't have flavor. And so a huge part of my Try It Wednesdays, a huge part of when I'm doing consulting, when I'm doing any type of plant-based coaching, is being able to talk through what does it look like to get creative in the kitchen, that you don't have to spend all day in the kitchen doing. I mean, even down to my vegan fried fish. So a lot of people know me for my vegan fried fish and my vegan mac and cheese. So, the vegan fried fish literally takes no time to prepare, right? And it has all the flavors you need. Grab your Louisiana hot sauce, no other hot sauce.
Please. Man, thank you.
Please. But it really is about, okay, maybe you have this fridge full of, maybe you do have this fridge full of green beans, broccoli, bell peppers, right? Let's think of all the bland stuff, right? The things that may not have much to it. Mushrooms. I don't know about y'all, but mushrooms is in like almost all my dishes because if I could be anything, I would turn into a mushroom. So if I could be anything, that's how I would be. And so, as an example, I've done a Try It Wednesday where I made a stir fry, and you get your low sodium soy sauce. You get, if you like spice, hot chili oil. You bring all the flavors into this wok, right?
Right.
And it is,
okay,
just the flavors you can create from. Look at all these bland things we just grabbed out the fridge or off the counter, and to be able to and even with, like, I think about rice, whether it's jasmine rice, brown rice, lentils. Y'all could still put some seasoning on y'all stuff. I mean, even if you're using, let's say, whether you're using a rice cooker, an Instapot, or you're preparing your rice or lentils or whatever in a regular pot on the stove,
right?
You can use vegetable stock, right, as the basis instead of water.
Don't be thinking like that.
So when you think about like getting creative, like, yes, bring in the vegetable stock. Bring in some of those seasonings even while the water is sitting there. Let's say you open up your rice cooker and you got your rice in there, you got your vegetable stock in there.
Right.
Season that bad boy and let it fall into the rice or the. You do not have to be. It doesn't have to be bland. It doesn't have to be. It can be delicious and not high in sodium. Because now we gonna have some other issues if we get everything high in sodium. But I'll say this, because eating plant-based is such a large topic, but some people, because it's easy and it's something they're familiar with, they'll immediately go to all the processed options.
Right.
The burgers, the sausages, all the cheese.
Yeah.
Have you seen, like, just when you're grocery shopping? Do you even do the grocery shopping? When we do the grocery shopping? Okay. I mean, because I'm sitting there asking, well, do you do the grocery shopping?
Yeah, she asked me what I need, or like, this is what I need. You go.
Chris does most of the grocery shopping. So I'm gonna be asking, because have you ever paid attention to any of the, like, in the freezer sections or anything like that, like the burgers or any of those things?
Not really.
Okay.
Because I don't. When it comes to my meat, like, I will say I have the privilege to be able to go and get meat from, like, Fairway or like
I got
something like that.
So you ain't back there really in the
bougie for a frozen burger. Take me to Fairway.
Nah, okay. So I will say this: some of them fit right. They fit them right in where the regular beef is too. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Okay. Because that's kind of their way too of getting folks to look at other options.
Yeah,
is putting it with the beef and things like that. So I was curious, because that is the first thing that folks tend to go to. It's like, oh yeah, I can do these burgers. Oh yeah, I can do these sausages for sure. Oh, the chicken, the vegan chicken in the freezer section. Heck yeah, I can do that. And I'm always going, hold on. Think of those more as like treats than anything, because they're higher in sodium. So the processed vegan options are higher in sodium. So when I make my mac and cheese, I only make it for very special occasions. The barbecues, because that's when we ain't really thinking about.
Right. Convenience.
Yes, right. We think about, fill my plate up, give me all the whatever. So it's more of special occasions. You're not going to see me wake up one day and just make that mac and cheese.
Yeah. So prevention is in the preparation.
Yes. So So when we think of, when I think of prevention, I think number one, what is it that we're feeling in our bodies? I always tell people, because I felt a lot of this before I actually started going to the doctor, right? So I was feeling this at home. What is my body telling me with these particular aches, these pains? I was doing one-on-one plant-based coaching for a couple of years at one point, and I had a client who was 60. I had a client who was 60, and they said, I haven't been able to ride a bike in I don't know how long. They were able to ride a bike, start riding again when they were done with by the time they were done with the 3-month program.
That's dope. So giving the information you know now, if you were to go back, or even somebody listening, what would you tell them? How would you prepare them for that conversation with their doctor? Like, what are some questions that you wish you could have asked your doctor?
So, okay, here we go. Here's some questions that I know, because I also have my plant-based nutrition certification from Cornell, and we were able to hear from doctors. So let me say this first, because some of the perceptions of the doctors should know this, right?
Right.
What we learned in that plant-based nutrition certification program was only about 10% of their curriculum is nutrition.
They don't be knowing.
So they really don't be knowing unless they take the initiative to go out and do something, which you see a lot of nurses, doctors, things like that in this program for each cohort. But I guess first, walk in with that assumption that they actually don't know. Right. So that's number one. But that shouldn't stop you still from asking questions, because they should be able to still go figure it out, go find it out. So I wish I would have asked, because I asked a very broad question. Why is my body just filled with inflammation? That's such a broad, that could be perceived as a broad question, versus I wish I would have asked, is there anything that I could be eating that could be increasing the amount of inflammation in my body?
Right.
Because what we learned was inflammation feeds disease as well. And heart disease is the number one killer. And heart disease is also reversible with a plant-based lifestyle. That's what we learned, right? And so it is, I think the number one question I wish I would have asked was, what foods should I make sure that I'm cutting back on? I'm eliminating, working toward, maybe it is a transition of trying to get it out of my my diet. What is it? Can you provide me with some of that information? That is the most helpful, because even when I hear my friends who are not plant-based say, oh yeah, I'm reducing the amount of dairy I'm eating, and I feel it, like in a good way.
Yes.
They just want to know, but they have me as like their go-to, because they could just call and be like, okay, Keesha. This is, right? Like, this one going on, and I noticed that this is happening to my body when I consume this. Like, not only ask the doctors, but literally going back to listening to your body and thinking of, okay, man, yeah, every time I consume this is happening. I know it's good, y'all. I know the ice cream good, y'all. I know them shakes good, because that's what it be. Or the cheese. We know.
Oh, yeah.
We love it, but we can't. I hear people say all the time, you know what? I'm going to just suffer tonight. I've heard so many people say that.
I've heard it too.
Yes. I'm just going to suffer tonight because I love it so much. But that suffering, it just adds on to what's happening in your body over time.
We make our own ice cream with fruit at the crib. It's not the ice cream. It's like sherbet. It is all it is fruit with some spinach sprinkled in there. They don't even know it. I don't tell them. And they ain't going to listen to this podcast. So they ain't going to know. And they be killing it. I put them in little molds. We got these popsicle molds, or like the ring pop molds.
Yes.
Illinois.
Yes. That's what, and no matter like because we are also privileged to afford, right, all of the things that we need when it comes to foods.
Absolutely.
And I think it's also important to be able to ask your doctor what resources could I have access to based off my circumstance, right? Whether that's to be able to ask more questions, maybe, maybe that is with a dietitian or an organization in the community or something like that.
Right.
Right. So that means that means these doctors got to do a little bit extra work too, because they need to be right. When you think of a healthy community, what are the obligations of the doctors?
Yeah.
Do they have a list? Seriously, do they have a list of resources where you can be able to go ask additional questions, because they may not know and they may not feel like the expert. People like to say experts. They may not feel like they're the experts. Or here is where you can get some of those healthy options to add into, your daily diet that fits within your current lifestyle and your situation.
That's so real.
Yeah, so it ain't even mad. Everybody plays a role in this. Us, but the education, it's easy to just say, oh, just do this, just go buy this and eat it. There's so much more behind that. It's understanding what is it that you love. How can we take what you love and do something with it to make it more right, make it more healthy. And it still has great flavor. It still has, because please, y'all, nothing vegan is going to ever taste like non-vegan stuff. I don't care how good it is. It will never taste exactly like it.
I think people go into it like, oh, this don't taste like chicken. That was not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, it's kind of not chicken. It might be some tofu, it might be chickpeas, it might be that's creating this thing, but it's that education piece. That's where I come into in the community of being able what I'm working towards right now, because I went on a hiatus. So now it is time for that shift with veganese of being more heavily involved in the community, working with hospitals, working with other organizations that are health related, and
well, and that's gonna be a great so in the prevention panel this year, we have an oncology doctor on that same panel, and I think that's going to be not only a really cool connection for you to be like, hey, because we know prevention. Cancer is running rampant in our communities, right? So, as you said earlier, physicians have their place, of course, but it's not the whole pie. You know what I'm saying? I don't think. I think they know. I know they know they're not the whole pie,
right?
But I don't necessarily think they know where to go.
Yeah, there you go.
So how cool is it that the resource is standing right next to you?
Listen, educating on this is exciting to me, and I think that's a huge part of it too. In this work, and you asked the question around like, how do you get people, because first off, I really do believe you have to have the energy for it, because if you're coming in, you're very monotone. It doesn't sound like you have any creativity and in what you're doing and what you're trying to teach. Folks aren't going to be excited. If you don't seem excited, they're not going to be excited.
They're not going to be excited.
So it's being able to bring into these different spaces, educating in an exciting way, hands-on way. And so that's another reason why I'm also looking forward to, I have as part of my business plan moving forward, after making some adjustments, is bringing community members together in like kitchen spaces at the kitchen space in the Drake neighborhood.
Oh yeah, right there off University.
Yeah, right off University.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep. So to be able to offer those types of classes and opportunities for the community and to do pop-ups. I'd love to do 2 pop-ups a year. And I have a lot of plans, and even look, because I'm speaking this into existence because it will happen. Our own Veg Fest, our own Des Moines Veg Fest. I would love. We have, maybe on much smaller scales, we have some plant-based vegan things in the Des Moines area across.
Yeah, we're hoping to have Veggie Thumper at the conference this year. We're hoping. I heard she's super busy. Of course, she is out here. But my boy Larry knows her.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he can pull Larry. Come on, man.
Listen, come on, girl. He said, Larry, get it. I'm saying, listen, you know me, girl. Come on.
For real.
Like that, yes, that like I want to have those collaborations. I envision a really large Veg Fest, and a lot of people here know me too. Much of my initiatives revolve around Blackness and uplifting the Black community. So even though this Veg Fest, I'm calling it Black Des Moines Veg Fest.
Okay.
And even though everyone, anyone would be welcome.
Very inclusive.
Yes. However, the vendors, and so you got to be strategic about this sometimes. So I want all of the vendors to be Black. We have a lot of food vendors. We have a lot of Black-owned businesses that sell food.
Yes.
Like in this industry. So, and in Des Moines, and so what I would love to do is to be able to host some things specifically for them. Because right now, a lot of them don't offer vegan options. Most of them do not have a single vegan option on their menus. So in order for me to, I feel like to get to where I see that vision, I need to support them.
Right.
In being able to, I'm telling y'all, here's how simple this could be. Here's a great, easy, delicious dish you can add to your menu, because I want them to be at the Veg Fest.
Yeah. No, that's rare. And I feel like that'd be so easy to do.
Yeah, to get all of us in one room.
Yeah.
To get all of us in one room, learning, like, these are some things that you can do, and not just for this Veg Fest, but I want to say this. I don't even know how far we into this, and I know you're going to edit it. However, I want to say, still to this day, the fastest population that is growing is the Black community for veganism.
Oh, I can see it.
And so, and I do want to say this. Vegan and plant-based, you've probably heard me say, like, use it interchangeably, say it this way, say it that way. So vegans and those who are plant-based eat the same foods.
Okay.
Same foods, okay? The difference is veganism is, it's a different lifestyle. It is animals' rights, right? So no skincare products, no clothing, none of that is made from, or no animals have been harmed. So they're all about animals' rights for vegans.
Right.
Plant-based, it is all about the foods and the foods only. It's for your health.
Oh, got you. So they don't care.
You'll have people that still will use skincare products that are tested on animals or still has animal. Yep. It's all about the foods. So that's the difference. However, vegan is the universal term that everyone knows. So when you hear Tabitha Brown, right, there's this whole uproar because she says vegan. However, some of her, clothing items or something like that are animal. So there was this uproar recently in Target. There was this uproar. And so I wasn't worried because I was like, Tab is she's actually very clear of saying she does this for her health. You never hear her talk about animals' rights or, anything like that. So, but it is because vegan is the universal term that everyone knows. That's where vegan knees came from. Plant-based knees just ain't as catchy.
This doesn't sound right.
So it's vegan, but you'll always see in my description everywhere that I am plant-based.
Oh, God.
But vegan, and I'll always say vegan is just the general term, because even when you go to restaurants, they denote it as vegan and not so much plant-based, because vegan is the universal term.
Got you. And like for real,
There was an uproar.
oh, wow.
I mean, there were like Reddit posts. I kind of went, y'all gotta be kidding me. Y'all are not coming for my auntie Tab. Like, y'all are not allowed to do that. And if you actually know her, if you follow her in any capacity, you will know that she has talked about from day one that she has done this for her health. She couldn't imagine herself being here today if she hadn't changed her life.
I want to see a ill will bone in her body.
Don't come for Tab, and don't come for me, because I came back.
Yeah.
Pray.
So yes, don't play with me. Okay. So so My City, My Health. What are you looking forward to this year?
I am looking forward to seeing new faces from last year. Obviously the same faces. Y'all better come back. So new faces, more connections. Just like you mentioned earlier about like who is sitting next to you, right?
Yeah.
That you can move forward and get the thing done.
Yeah.
Just get it done. I am also looking forward to, I think now that we've had the first one, right? And I loved how y'all passed the microphone around in the crowd. I think this year, not only me, but I feel like everyone is going to really look forward to and have those expectations of, okay, yeah. We get to talk a little bit. We get to have a conversation.
That has been a conversation between Larry and I on how much time, because we didn't expect the Q&A to be so live.
I bet not. And it was live. It was live.
Live. And so now we're thinking, okay, how much time do we give?
Mm-hmm.
Do we give less time for the panel to make more time for it?
I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you that's what I'm really looking forward to that, because as folks are standing up, they're also saying, I appreciated this. They're also saying this is where they're coming from. This is their company, maybe they work at. This is their experience with this topic, and so we get to not only hear from. I'm looking forward to not just hearing from the panelists, but the people in the crowd with their experience, and being able to just take back what I'm hearing and take it even back to work.
Yeah.
To those who are not able to attend. Look at what we can do to enhance the experiences of the youth and families here that I just took from right here in Des Moines. I didn't have to travel nowhere to get this.
Nowhere.
Because like you said earlier, the expertise that's here,
they're leaving the conference and going right back to work in the community.
Yes. Yeah.
I've taken a flight back home.
Yes.
They're right here.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of it.
So I got a question. You asked me a question. I got a question.
Yeah.
Is there anything new for us, like returning people to you? Is there anything that's like, this is changing, or you'll get like more of a experience in this? Look, I'm putting him on the spot, y'all. This is y'all.
So there are a few changes.
Okay.
No, very, very, very subtle changes. Very subtle changes.
Yeah.
I'll start with the most subtle one. That's with the panels. Mm-hmm. So like we do have, instead of last year we had the culture and healthcare panel.
Yes.
This year it's a public health panel. So we have Nalo Johnson.
I love Nalo.
We have Nafisa. Jackie Easley, the moderator. Still looking for one or two other panelists for that public health panel.
Okay.
But Nalo's going to bring it.
Always.
Nafisa's going to bring it.
Oh, my
and it's coming from different perspectives in public health.
Good.
The prevention panel. You, Shayla, that's still the same. Prevention. We have the mental health panel. Brianne and Kayla are both coming back. I got my guy, Gabe Martinez from Broadwell, is going to be on that panel. Teresa Zilk is the moderator for that panel.
That's my girl.
And then the community panel, which will, from now on, will just be about community advocacy and community leaders.
Yes.
So that's going to be with
That's what
Fountain, Billy Weathers, Julian Neely.
That's what we need.
You know, it is just talking about what's going on in these streets, right?
Exactly.
But so that's the framework for the panelists. The vibe is going to be there. You know, it's going to be.
It's already
It's going to be. The music's going to be live.
I already know.
The music is going to be dope.
My food was good last year. I just want to say that my food was good last year because Larry definitely came up to me and was like, "Keesha, are we good?" I said, "This good."
Yeah. The one thing that we would like to do, I don't know if it's going to happen this year though.
It's going to happen though, but what?
The Concrete Rose Award. And the concept I got back for the Concrete Rose.
Okay.
So the idea from it was that Tupac poem, how you grow from a concrete rose. So as we're talking about health equities and social determinants of health, who is that person that started from the bottom and now they are here?
I love
your concrete rose.
So much.
The model I got back for that award was Big Ashy. It was so I wasn't giving that to nobody.
Wait, what?
What? I wasn't giving that to nobody. It was not what I had envisioned. So like,
where did the model come from?
So a company that I found doing my Googles. So they're not local. So like, I just told them what I wanted. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we got you." And they brought me back. I'm like, ooh.
So what? So you ain't got to tell me what was in the model, but what was part of the model? Was it the description of it? What was part of the model for it?
It was, so they just brought back like a drawing of it. So it wasn't the actual in my hand.
I got you. Okay.
But I couldn't see it. Like, it just looked very generic. And I'm like, I'm not seeing it. I'm not paying for you to make one so I can but that's something Larry was like, "Hey, we need to have, it'd be cool to have an award." We're definitely going to highlight another nonprofit.
Yeah.
But I really want that Concrete Rose Award. I thought that would have been so cool. We still may have time to do it.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. Y'all got the time to do it. And I feel like y'all have the time to do it the way that you want. Do it. I just say just do it. And because have you done a process? Have you done any processes for awards? Like, here is how nominations happen. Here is how.
Nope. We just said, hey, like everything with this conference, we was like, this is what we want to do. And we just do it. We had
okay, right. So when we get off here, we just need to chat because I have a process created for our event next month.
Yeah.
On the website, very clean process laid out, and so we can just
let's talk about it. I think that'd just be so cool. It's
super dope.
Yeah.
Do it. Just do it. Scratch them. Turn it into yours. Is the title can you use that title, that name?
Oh, I don't know.
Or do they have it like
that was like just like that was just like the filler. Like we knew we wanted to do an award.
Okay.
We knew that we wanted to do it based off of that poem.
Yes.
Because it fits the social determinants and all that, and highlighting somebody that grew up in an area like, somewhere where just the struggle was real, but they were able to. We just wanted to just highlight somebody.
Yes, as you should be able to.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all got time. Not me over here putting extra stuff on their plate. Y'all got time. Was it November?
Oh yeah.
Y'all good.
Yeah. And so maybe, and we're hoping that we can get a sponsor for the award.
Okay.
So if not, you know what I'm saying?
It's the new fiscal year, so everybody got new money. The new fiscal year just started. Everybody got new money. I just want to let you know that anyway, because I know you know that, but I don't know if it clicks at all. Yeah. We just came into July. They got new money.
Support. It is going for a good thing. Like, you should want to support that. You should want to support that.
Agreed.
Oh my God, absolutely good. Yeah, Keesha, I just appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Before we get going, is there anything? Where can people reach you if someone's listening?
Oh,
yeah. How can someone connect with you? And I'll make sure I put them in the description of the podcast as well.
Okay. So everything with Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok. Well, TikTok's a little different. But Instagram, Facebook at Vegan Knees. Knees as in the body part. Vegan, KNEES. Website, veganknees.com. I keep everything very simple, y'all. Right. Y'all can't miss me. Now, if you're on TikTok, it's vegan_knees because somebody decided to take vegan knees, and I'm going to need them to take that down because I got it trademarked. So that's how you can reach me. But honestly, outside of that, you will find me everywhere. Just search my name in Google and you will find me one way or another or at an event.
There you go.
Everything is
out here. Yes. Keesha, again, thank you so much.
Thank
you for being a part of My City, My Health. Yeah, I just
can't wait.
I can't wait. I don't want to keep saying too much.
I know.
I just don't want to overhype it.
No, overhype it. Build up the momentum. Like, straight lit, y'all. When I tell y'all, I don't even know how many times I've asked Corey, when is it? This year, I mean, just the random times I would see you and I'd be like, you got the date yet? Right? Like, that's how excited I am. But hype this baby up because I know I am. Like, y'all gonna see the TikTok. Y'all gonna see the everything because we ready.
Oh, man.
And y'all need to be there.
Yes. And it's not your average conference.
It is not. Y'all already heard me say this. It ain't your average conference.
No. Hey, everybody, I appreciate you. This is the Healthy Podcast. Oh, my goodness. Cut that out.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Healthy Project Podcast. I'll let you next time.